we're going to have like a round robin type meeting. And because the group is a little smaller than I was expecting, we're going to have more of an intimate experience with our city staff. Like literally every department is here tonight. So you have a question. If you have a question, they're going to tell you what they do. We have everybody here from the police to the fire chief to our new city manager, who this is actually a meeting for us to introduce our new city manager. We have the city council's 3 direct reports here. We have Mark Jomsky. Where's Mark at? We go to the same barbershop. And and we have Michele, our city attorney. So our 3 direct reports, who the city council actually hires directly, are here. They are the 3 that actually run and do the day-to-day work for us. And we create the policy. And so they make sure that their staff adheres to the policy that the city council puts together. With that being said, I'm just gonna, tell you exactly how this is gonna work. It's funny. I said, you know what, I would like a speed dating style community meeting, something different. This is completely different than we've ever done. We typically have a topic and we talk about it, and then we have maybe 2 or 3 topics. But today, like I said, every city department is here. And round robin is probably the better term because I'm not Chuck Willery and this is not Love Connection, and nor am I Chris Hansen. So no one's going to be leaving home with anybody tonight. So, so I just wanted to let you know that this is not that type of speed dating. This is an opportunity for you to know exactly what our people that work and cherish the city do on a day-to-day, and that they work for you as well as I do. So with that being said, I'm going to bring up our first speaker for the night, and I want you guys to give him a warm welcome, and it is Miguel Márquez, Justice Miguel Márquez, the Miguel Márquez that you guys have all been waiting to hear about and hear from, our new city manager.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out today, and I want to thank my staff who are all here behind you. As Councilmember Hampton said, our staff from just about every department. It's so great to introduce and have these opportunities to introduce myself to you. I will be somewhat brief because we have a lot of speakers, and I know you want to meet with all of our department heads, and I'll be here to hear your concerns as well. If there's just a couple of things I want you to know about me, it's that, one, I am a public servant through and through. I've been in public service for a long time. I served in a variety of governments. Started in the county of San Mateo, went to the city and county of San Francisco, did a spell as general counsel for San Francisco Unified, so I have some school lawyering in my background. Came down to the county of Santa Clara, where I was the chief legal officer for that county. It's a county of 2 million residents and has, full service, just about everything you could think of. And then I had an opportunity. I was blessed to have Governor Brown appoint me to serve as an associate justice on the 6th District Court of Appeal. And that was an incredible experience, but one that couldn't withstand an offer to come back to the county of Santa Clara and come back into direct public service to serve as the chief operating officer, really, creating programs, implementing things that really helped people in the safety net that the county provided. And was happy up there doing my thing when also always wanted to come down to Los Angeles. I spent, when I was in my legal practice and I was looking for a place to land after law school, was actually came down here to a firm called Paul Hastings, and did work with Paul Hastings, and said, when I finished that internship, I said, I'm going to live in LA, and really thought that was going to be my choice. But it's hard. You go back up north. I went to Berkeley, and I came over the hill, and I saw the Golden Gate Bridge, and I saw everything that it had to offer. And I said, at the end of the day, they're both beautiful, awesome places. And the firm I went to worked in high tech, and I thought back in the mid-'90s there was something to high tech. So I think I made the right choice, at least with respect to that part of my legal career, until I realized what I really care about deeply in my heart is public service. So. Thank you for having us all here. again, I want to thank my staff for making the time, and the other staff of the city attorney, the city clerk. They are not my staff, but they are equally as awesome. And look forward to speaking with each and every one of you and working with you for years to come. Oh, and the one thing I did want to say that I said last night at a similar event for Councilmember Wilson's area, people ask, what do you want to get done? And that's hard to answer that question. What are your 3 priorities? There's too many things to work on to really bring it down to 3. There are certainly 3, but there's probably 10 or 15. But I think at the end of the day, the big picture thing I hope to work with all of you on over the years is to build a more just and a more inclusive society. And I know that's a little concept that's needs to be fleshed out. I get that. But I truly mean it. I think that we do great work here in Pasadena, and I think there's more we can do. I think, the challenges that present us to us every day give us that opportunity to make the decisions that take us one step closer to the society that we all talk about that we want to be. So I look forward to working with you on those challenges. And with that, I will turn it back to Councilmember Hampton.
That's our city manager, everybody. He's going to be here all night. So I'm remiss to say that I'm actually a John Muir alumni, and this is our first in-person meeting again. And so I said, where to do this besides back at home at John Muir High School. And so I have to recognize Ron DMC, but also Dr. Gray. Dr. Gray is the principal of John Muir High School. I'd like him to come up and just, welcome us. Thank you for letting us use your home.
So I know it's not Halloween yet, but it's Spirit Week here at John Muir High School. So therefore, today is Old School Day, which I know makes many of us feel old because this wasn't old school for me. This is like new school growing up, but to the kids, it's old school. But I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you, Councilmember Hampton, for having the people come out to view our area in our school. Really important, bathrooms. If you need to use the bathroom, you're going to go up these stairs to the left, and they're on the left-hand side once you go inside the door. So make sure if you need to use the bathroom, they're available for you. And once again, just thank you for coming to John Muir High School. So glad to see all of you out here, and just so grateful to our community and to our people to help us and support us at the city. So thank you.
He'll be DJing later on. Also, before I bring up the next 2 director reports of the City Council, I want to also mention that we have our newly appointed City Council member, Justin Jones, here, who has graced us with his presence. And I would like him just to say hello to the neighbors.
Thank you, Councilmember Hampton. It's great to be back here at John Muir, but it was also better to take back the bell last night. I guess that's my time.
All right, so in December, he'll be up again.
But, I'm fortunate enough to be appointed to the Pasadena City Council to represent a community I was raised in. I was born and raised in this city. I was an intern for this city. I work for the County of LA. I'm a professional civil engineer. And so I've gotten real familiar with the staff already within a month of service. I promised that I was going to hit the ground running to represent my constituents, and that's exactly what we've done. We've already attended 3 council meetings. Tyron Hampton and myself, we both advocated for local workforce hirement on the Affinity Project. I've also met with city staff, Pasadena Water and Power, to discuss the Sunset Reservoir Project, a host of other projects as well. And so I'm just very happy to have this opportunity to serve my community, to represent the constituents. Just last night, we had a meet and greet with our neighborhood leaders. And so we brought together all the neighborhood associations. Was that last night or Tuesday? That might have been Tuesday. The days are getting blurry, but yeah, COVID, there you go. But yeah, we brought together neighborhood leaders in the city, and we all exchanged ideas and issues. And so my vision for the district and also for the city is that we all can advocate for one another in this city, and I think we can get a lot accomplished, because at the end of the day, we're all neighbors. This is our city, and we care about the growth and the vision for it. So thank you. I appreciate Councilmember Hampton inviting me up here, and go Dogs.
Thank you so much for your service, Councilmember Jones. Your parents did you a disservice by sending you to PHS. But somehow he made it on the city council. With that being said, I am going to bring up Mark Jomsky, our city clerk. No, and then I'm going to bring up Michele, and we're going to go over the questions together.
Well, that's what I was doing.
Oh, is that what you? Oh, then I'm so sorry. Then I will just switch it around. We'll round robin that.
We'll round robin this.
Michele Bagneris, our city attorney.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hampton. Michele Bagneris, city attorney, city prosecutor, I greet you. I'm actually going to greet and go because I have a flight very early in the morning, and I'm going to our sister city in Dakar, Senegal. So I have a lot to do, but I have two very able assistants, Chief Assistant City Attorney Javan and the acting Chief Assistant City Prosecutor Tim Wellman. So they will speak on my behalf as you go through the round robin. I've been city attorney since May of 1997. And so time is ticking, and we've seen things change, and they will continue to change. And as they change, we just try to make them better so we can achieve the dream that the city manager has in our community being inclusive, et cetera. With leadership on our council, I'm sure we'll do it. So thank you so much for having me and our staff. And it's a great idea and concept, so much success.
Thank you, thank you. Enjoy your trip. With that being said, we're gonna show you exactly how this is gonna work. Everybody's gonna work, we're gonna work our ways into these little corners, but not right now. Our city clerk is going to go over some questions that our staff has already been received, and they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves and what they do in their departments.
Sure.
Mark Jomsky, our city clerk.
How you doing? We may go to the same barber, but not the same gym. I can't compete with that. So I'm Mark Jomsky. I'm the city clerk for the city of Pasadena. I've been working for the city since 2005. Oh, sorry. There you go. Since 2005. I've been the city clerk since 2008, so 17 years with the city, 13 years as a city clerk. The key functions of our department, we provide the primary support to the city council. So on a weekly basis, the council meets. Our office provides the agenda packet, puts it together from the city manager's office and city staff, distributes to the public and to the council so that they can make their decisions. And we make it all public so that the council's not making a decision in a vacuum; they're making it with public input and participation. What's the work your department does that you're most proud of? Well, that we are the key to the public's participation with the council. We provide opportunities for public comment. We bring them into the council meetings. We put the documents out so that the council and the public are all on the same page when decisions are being made. So that's really our core function. We support elections. That's one of the other primary purposes of our office. We help candidates get through the nomination period and qualify to have their names on the ballot. So they're part of. So that's a key democratic process that we are part of. So those types of things are really core to our department and core to public participation and the success of local government. So that's things that we're proud of as the city clerk's office. And then what's one thing the residents can do to help your department function better and be more effective? And I would just say it's to participate, to be engaged, to go on to the city's website, to look up the documents, to understand what the council's considering on a weekly basis, and then to participate, get into the meetings, give your input. Don't let the council make decisions without your input, because that's really what they're there for. They're there to represent you, and they're there to bring good decisions to you and to the betterment of the city. So those are my answers to my questions. I guess I don't have to do the round robin now, but I'll be happy to participate in that as well and answer any questions you may have. Councilmember Hampton.
Thank you. So before this meeting, because it is a more intimate group, I'm going to actually have every staff member come up and just share very briefly instead of doing the round robin. And then if there's a department that you're really interested in speaking to, we're going to then break out into groups. Is that fine? That might sound a little better. Then you get to see like, oh, you know, who do we actually want to have a conversation with right now? So, Marie Levine, Dr. Levine.
I would have a general question regarding the Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl is not represented here. This is city staff. So that would be the city manager. We could talk to the city manager about that. Yeah. Yes. So I'm going to call people up. I am going, because I don't know exactly if this list is up to date. I have already called up the city clerk. I am going to call up the acting assistant city manager, David Reyes, if he's here. I don't know if David is still here. If not, that's fine. We have the city manager. I'm going to bring up our favorite, the libraries. It's one of my favorite things. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's our favorite. I tell you, Tim, how you doing? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Thanks. Well, you heard it. That's some good news. Hi, everyone. My name's Tim McDonald. I'm the acting library director here in Pasadena. I've worked for the city since 2016. I've been the acting library director since February of this year. So, what is the function of the library? The library is an essential community space where a dedicated, knowledgeable staff serve the community by offering free, and that's an important word, free access to relevant resources for the community. And that's books, technology, movies, music, and so much more, as well as innovative programs and services that really meet the needs of the community and where all people are welcome. That's a very important principle at the library, that we're there for everyone and that we strive to create a safe and welcoming environment for all members of the community. And we're really trying to inspire people to be lifelong learners, fill them with curiosity and wonder, and be a place where the community can come together and collaborate together. It's hard to pick out any one thing that I'm most proud of because I'm afraid I'll leave something else out, but I'll say that about a mile from here, we have a very special branch library, La Pintoresca branch library, that I know Councilmember Hampton is a huge supporter of. And if you will stop by that branch any day after school, you will see it filled with children that our librarian Rosa Cesaretti runs a homework help program where kids of all ages can get assistance with their homework or any subject that they're falling behind in. If that doesn't work for you, for the first time this year, we're offering online tutoring for kindergarten to 12, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in English and in Spanish, any subject. So we're very proud of the work that we do to support school success here in Pasadena. I'm happy to talk to you about that more later or any other library programs that are going on. Thank you for having us here tonight, and I'm glad to hear we're your favorite. That's awesome.
Tell us a fun fact about yourself.
Fun fact about me, I was born in Titusville, New Jersey. You ever seen that famous picture of George Washington crossing the river on Christmas night? That's where I grew up, and my neighbor was George Washington one year when they reenacted it. We go down there and play. That's fun. That's it.
Oh, that's cool. That's a fun fact.
That's it.
So when everybody comes up, you did wonderful though, Tim. When everybody comes up, if you could speak a little closer into the mic so that everybody in the back can hear. Is everybody having any trouble hearing in the back? Okay, perfect. With that being said, we are going to bring up our fire chief, Chad Augustin. Always.
Good evening. My name is Chad Augustin, and I am your Pasadena Fire Chief. I'm new here. I've been in Pasadena for just about 20 months now and having absolutely the time of my life. I came here from Sacramento and just love this community and really enjoy working for each and every one of you. The key functions of Pasadena Fire, we respond to any emergency 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Whatever your emergency is, we respond, and our goal is to mitigate whatever that emergency. It could be a fire, a flood, a medical problem. It could be a hazardous materials. We also do a lot of fire prevention and building inspections, code compliance, public education, you name it. We want to be there to help assist you in whatever your need is. One of the great things about Pasadena being a full service city, we also provide ambulance transports. We have 5, hopefully soon to be 6, transporting rescue ambulances, so that if yourself or one of your loved ones needs medical attention and transport, we don't contract with an outside private for-profit provider. We provide that service to our residents also. Again, one of the things I'm really proud of is just the customer service that our members provide. They really take pride in working for each and every one of you. One of the things that each of you can do to help us, we're right in the final products of finishing a citywide evacuation plan. The city has historically not had one. And of course we think fire, right? As we look up and down the state and have seen the devastation that wildfires have caused, that's really what started us working on an evacuation plan, but it's an all hazards evacuation plan. Fire, mud and debris flow, a no-notice event like an earthquake. We want to help each of you be prepared, and it'll take every single one of us standing here, every single one of your city employees, plus all of you, to help make the city of Pasadena safer. So what can you do? You can be prepared. You can have a go bag. You can have a plan. You could be self-prepared for 24 to 72 hours. Having key things like some money, your identification, a little bit of food and water, your key documentations. If you have a furry friend, food for them also. Anything you can that you would need to be self-sufficient for that 1 to 3 days. I think that's it for now.
Thank you, Chief. Up next is Department of Finance, Matt Hawkesworth.
Good evening. Again, my name is Matt Hawkesworth. I'm the Director of Finance for the city. I've been with the city since 2015, so just hit 7 years. Let's see here. Key functions of the department. In the big picture, we're responsible for making sure all the money that's supposed to come to the city comes to the city, and we're responsible for making sure that the money going out of the city goes to the right places for the right things. But we do budget, accounting, accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, purchasing, investments, cashiering, collections, and a variety of things. So lots of key functions, however, most of it's seen internally. Something that I'm most proud of, the thing that I love about being in finance is that we get to touch everything. So when we see a great library project going on or something going on with the fire department, we know that we get to play a critical piece of everything that happens. We're either help facilitating it, we're helping make sure something gets paid for, something gets covered. They have the ability to buy what they need. So the fact that we get to enable and help all the things that you love about Pasadena happen is what I think is great about the finance department. And one of the things that the residents can do to help us function better or be more effective, we love resident input, especially when it comes to the budget. In the budget cycle, we welcome your input and your thoughts. Because I love to have those conversations about things because we want to learn what's more important to the community. The other thing that we do regularly and we will continue to do is the Buy Local program for the city of Pasadena is in the finance department. So if you are employed by a business in Pasadena or you own a business in Pasadena, We'd love to meet with you. If you're interested in doing business with the Pasadena, we can get you registered so that you can be notified of procurement opportunities and things like that. We have regular workshops, but we also meet with businesses one-on-one. So, thank you.
Well, that's our money man, everybody. So, sure, everybody's going to be lined up to talk to you, man. Up next is Tony Olmos, Public Works. Now, Public Works does everything from streets to tree maintenance. So, tell us about it, Tony. Good to see you.
Feels like the price is right a little bit. Come on down. So again, I'm Tony Olmos. I'm the Director of Public Works, and I've been here for 1 year next week. 1 year next week. So my previous job to here was in the city of Brea and some other Orange County cities. I've been in this business now for over 30 years. And my main responsibilities in the city is to take care of what they call the public right-of-way. So if you look on the street, it's the area between the back of the sidewalk on one side of the street to the back of the sidewalk on the other side of the street. That includes all the sidewalk, the trees, the street itself, the utilities underneath, except for water. But we take care of the sewers and the storm drains. And really, it's a really good operation, and we really rely on all of you to let us know, what are the needs, and we do our best on making sure we maintain that. And trees are a big deal here in the city, and that's something that we do our best in keeping up with the schedules and all that. We also maintain all the fleet for the entire department, all the police and fire vehicles, all our public works vehicles, so that's big. And we also have the refuse department or refuse division within my department. We collect all the trash in-house for all the residential, and we have commercial haulers that do everything for all the commercial and industrial businesses. And we also have the Citizen Service Center. That's where I was talking about, where you let us know. And that's something that's really effective in making sure that we generate those work orders and be able to get you the services that you need. You can report a pothole, you can report a tree branch, that's leaning down, and we'll go ahead and make a work order and then respond to you and report to that. So, and we also, lastly, on the functions, we also have an engineering division that puts together all these projects for improvements. We help out the parks department, we help out transportation, we also do all these paving projects. So, sorry when you're stuck in traffic with all the traffic, the construction traffic, but that's all for the betterment of the city. So the work that we're most proud of in our department is that we help provide the quality of life for residents. The things that are right in front of you, the sidewalks and the trees and the street, that's what you see every day. And that's what we take pride in doing our best in maintaining. So we try to keep our streets clean, pick up all the trash, especially when there's illegally dumped bulky items. We try to stay on top of that as best we can. And that's just repairing sidewalks and trimming trees. So how can you help us? I think I already said that with Citizen Service Center, or just call us and let us know if there's something that doesn't look right in the street that you need some service on, and we'll be happy to come out and service that best we can.
What's
So
your phone
thank
number,
you.
Tony?
I have my cards, so when we do the round robin.
To call the Citizen Service Center.
Actually, it's on the website. I don't have it I don't have it on top of my head, but yeah, 311. Yeah, the easiest way is 311. But I know that there's a direct line that you can call for that. And then the website's the easiest way because they have some pull downs. If you just say you need a tree, you go in there, you do a pull down menu, and there it is. So I think that's my part, and I'll be happy to engage in any conversation afterwards.
Now up next is the man who is keeping roofs over people's homes and their heads, Bill Huang, the Housing Department.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. My name is Bill Huang. I'm the Housing Director, and I've been here for 14 years. The Housing Department funds affordable housing, homeless programs, nonprofit services, and public improvements like sidewalk replacements, particularly out here in Northwest Pasadena. And then we also have a jobs program called the MASH program that helps underemployed or unemployed persons get paid positions with the city for up to 2 years to learn skills and to find permanent jobs. And then one of the things that is of note of our department is that we currently have over 700 units of affordable housing under construction right now. We have about over 3,800 households in Pasadena living in some form of affordable housing. 3,800, but it's not enough. So we're pressing on. We have 700 units, over 700 units under construction. And what can residents do? I think be patient with us as we seek out more funding for affordable housing. We recently were able to get a regional housing trust fund started, Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena Regional Housing Trust Fund. Our share of the money will be $7 million to start with. And then also please be compassionate to our neighbors that are falling through the holes in our social safety net. And there are a lot of holes. For instance, we know a lot of seniors on fixed incomes cannot keep up with rising rents. So one of the projects that we have under construction right at Fair Oaks and Orange Grove is for housing for chronically homeless seniors, permanent housing there. So that's under construction. Will be opening at the end of next year. So those are some of the things that we're doing. I'm glad to speak with you in a smaller group. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next up is the man who has kept us healthy through this whole entire pandemic. We all are here. Emmanuel Carmona from the Health Department.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Manuel Carmona. I'm the Interim Director for the Pasadena Public Health Department. I've been with the city since 2014. I was appointed the Interim Director when Dr. Go took her personal leave in August of this year. It's been such a pleasure and an honor to take the helm at such a critical time in our city's history. As you all know, navigating COVID-19 has been just a tremendous challenge for all of us, for our community, but we're very fortunate that through it all, the community has continued to work together to protect and preserve our community health. In terms of what we do at the health department, I think COVID-19 obviously has elevated the role and purpose of public health, but there's so much more to what we do than just infectious disease prevention. And, you know, I think that it's still a little lost on a lot of folks that a lot of what we do isn't actually direct delivery of healthcare. We employ nurses, we have physicians, we offer critical clinical services, but we're not a primary care center. And I think that that's something that it's important for everybody to note. Our primary role is really to monitor population health, and we do that through a variety of ways, including collecting data, engaging citizens, learning about all of your experiences, and then understanding what are the factors that influence long-term health outcomes, including the social determinants of health, the experiences we have every single day of our lives, and how that ends up influencing our long-term health. And then finally, we design services and programs to improve those outcomes, working with folks in industries across multiple sectors in order for us to address the systemic factors that influence long-term public health outcomes. I can share a favorite quote of mine that kind of sums up what we do in public health. And if you're familiar with Archbishop Desmond Tutu, he said, if you're standing by a river and you're looking at the river and you start to see someone float by, your natural inclination is to dive into the river and pull them out, right? While we do that at the health department, we dive into the river, we provide safety net services that help people improve their health. When they're at their most vulnerable state, we're providing those services to help them. But we also must turn ourselves up the stream, up the river, and look and understand why people are falling into the river in the first place. And so we do a lot of work on that end, trying to understand how systems are influencing long-term public health outcomes so that we can influence those systems so we can improve those health outcomes. So we partner with several departments in the city and even with nonprofit partners and our regional partners in public health at the county and at the state level by working with them. So we have partnerships with the library, we work with housing, we have partnerships with the fire department, with the police department, and through that, we're able to influence the systems and improve health outcomes for our community. I think I might have covered that all. That was it. Okay. All right. Let me see if there was anything else here. One thing that I'm proud of. So I'll just share really quickly because I know I've probably spoken far longer than I needed to already. But obviously, we enjoyed a tremendous COVID-19 vaccination rate in the city of Pasadena. Over 93% of our community was vaccinated with first and second doses. Thank you. But I'm also proud that we competed with a $2.5 million California Violence Intervention Program and were awarded a significant grant to address community violence in our community. As all of you may have heard, we've seen an uptick in community violence, gun violence in particular, among youth. And so the state of California has given this award to us so we can build out effective family counseling, supportive services for our youth, so we can help them to redirect their activities and get into something that's more positive. And we're really excited about seeing how that program comes together and the difference that we can make. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
That work has made a tremendous difference in our community. Up next, speaking from health to safety, our Chief of Police, Jason Clawson.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jason Clawson. I'm the interim police chief here in Pasadena. I'm kind of new too. I've been here 31 years working for the police department. So, when I took over this role in May, I knew my issues were contemporary, that I had to reduce crime, maintain order, provide hope, excuse me, and calm fears. And how I think we do that is through a little bit of logic, some being strategic, some common sense, and a concern for people. And that's really what I look at every day, is my community and how I can better the community and give back people their quality of life. So many things that keep me up at night, from my phone going off on any major incident, any shooting, any stabbing, any fatal car accident. I'm getting called, and it's like every day. And it seems like sometimes there's a crisis every day. And when the crisis doesn't occur, that's when I really worry about what's happening in our community. But a couple of things right now that I really am keyed in on and worried about. Number one is officer safety, and also the gun violence, like Manuel had talked about. We've had about 30 shootings year to date in Pasadena. Last year we had about 74. So our shootings are down, but we all know that one shooting in our community is one too many. And one of the things that we're dealing with right now is the state of California, really the country, had changed the way gun permits or concealed weapons are issued in our community. And we're working on our policies and our procedures as we move forward. More and more people are going to apply to carry guns on their bodies in normal everyday life. And just to give you a perspective, in the month of September, since this law changed in June, in the month of September, LA County Sheriff received 8,000 applications for people to carry concealed weapons, and that's very alarming. So we all need to be aware of that, and we can be contacted over the internet. We can be contacted through 911, our non-emergency numbers, and also if you have a complaint or a concern or an issue, you can get on the city service application, and that information not just doesn't go to the city manager's office, it goes to all the departments as well. So please, I'm going to be here. If you have any questions, concerns, come up to me. I have my card. You can have my cell phone number, and we'll make it a night. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. Our next department up is Parks and Recreation. If you've gone to one of our parks, we just redid La Pintoresca Park, and on the 29th, we will have Giggles and Screams. So it's there's going to be tons of people there, I guarantee it. Tons of candy and just a really good time. Brenda Harvey-Williams, even a District 1 neighbor.
Thank you, Councilmember Hampton. So my name is Brenda Harvey-Williams, and I am a resident of District 1, very proudly, yes. And I've worked for the city since 1987. So I'm gonna let you do your own math because the number's so high, I don't like to really admit it. I like to call myself Doogie Howser, so I was like 2 when I started here, when you finished doing that math. So anyway, I am the director of the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Department. What is it that we do? So each of those 3 areas, in the area of parks, we maintain all of our city parks. We say 26 parks, depends on how you count it. It could be as many as 30, but I like to say we have 26 parks. We are responsible for maintaining those, everything from mowing the grass, watering it, making sure it's clean and available, all of our sports courts and other amenities. Our recreation division, we are, in that area, I like to call ourselves the Department of Fun. So we do youth sports. We operate 4 youth sports programs: flag football, soccer, volleyball, and basketball. And we have about, right now, our biggest sport is soccer. We have about 2,000 kids playing soccer in our program right now, so we're very excited about that. But also in the area of recreation, we do fitness, we have programs for seniors who exercise, which I would love. We have something for everybody in fitness and in wellness and many things. We also do community service programs. We operate a community center, the Jackie Robinson Community Center, and also the Villa Park Community Center, where we are providing services that our citizens probably wouldn't otherwise receive. We help connect people with programs that they need, whether it be in the area of health or housing. We also help people fill out forms. We provide immigration services. And finally, another area that we do is special events, one of which the council member just mentioned, Giggles and Screams. It's a new Halloween program that we have just started. Well, it will be held on Saturday at La Pintoresca Park. Again, for all ages, for the little people. It's from 3 to 8. We will have a haunted house. We will have a trackless train ride. We have trunk or treat. Just something for everyone. In terms of, so that's kind of what we do. But one of our programs that I'm most proud of is the work that we do with seniors. We do have, really, I like to say, from 2 to 102, we have a program for you. But in area of our seniors, some of the more popular classes we have include line dancing. So I'm not saying that any of you are seniors out here, because I can see you're all young people, but at Villa Park and at the Jackie Robinson Community Center, we have chair aerobics, we have line dancing, we have just a myriad of activities. We have a Friday coffee club where you can just stop by, have some coffee, meet some other people. Lots of programs. We have something for everyone, I'd like to think, which leads me into the what can you do for us? How can you help us? And that would be, if there's something we're not doing, let us know what you need. If there's a program or a service, and we will try to, as best we can, meet that need. We are here to serve you. What we do is a lot of fun. I'll just mention a few more activities we have coming up. We've got, on Friday, we have 2 things going on. We're having a senior Halloween party in the morning at Jackie Robinson Community Center. And by senior, I mean older adult. And they are having a costume contest. We also, Friday evening from 5 to 9 at Villa Park, we are having a Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead program. And going into next week, I had to write a few of them down because since I told you I've been here since 1987, got little memory issues every once in a while. The last one I wanted to tell you about is our Adaptive Sports Festival, which will be next Saturday on November 5th at Brookside Park. And it is where we bring together about 1,000 people will come out of all physical and mental abilities, and everybody can play together. We will have about 14 different sports going on. One of Councilmember Hampton's favorites is wheelchair rugby. We let him get in a wheelchair and play rugby, and every year we have to pull him off, like, Mr. Hampton, other people want to play. He's very competitive. It doesn't matter who he's competing against, but usually he and the Muir get into it, and we got to pull him apart. And I don't know if it's a PHS Muir thing or it's bad. But it is a wonderful event, and I hope that you all will just come out to some of our programs and see what they are like. And my last thing I want to say is, what I love about recreation in particular is it is all about social equity. It levels the playing field. So the families who do not have a swimming pool in their backyard, you live in Pasadena, guess what? You have swimming pools available to you. We operate 4 swimming pools in the summertime, and we're working on a new pool at Robinson Park that'll operate year round. So everybody can have a swimming pool, everybody can learn to swim. If you live in multifamily housing, you live in an apartment building, you maybe don't have a backyard, guess what? Every park in this city belongs to you. You have the best backyards, over 26 of them. And you've got that huge one in all of the Arroyo Seco. So I just want to leave you with that we are here for service for you, but again, we are here to help those who may not have. You have it. We all have a lot of stuff here because Pasadena is very rich, and we help you learn and help you enjoy all of that. So thank you.
And they do have a gym. Her husband is in the back. Brian Williams used to be an assistant city manager with the city of Pasadena. You could tell he's been to the public gym lots. He just got back from there probably. You're looking good, brother. You're looking good. Next up is our HR department, which is Tiffany Jacobs-Quinn. She is here. It's about our employees are really key to us, and it's about making sure that they have a great quality of life, and our HR department does that. And also, if there are residents that you know that are looking for jobs, our HR department is the place that they apply. So, Tiffany Jacobs-Quinn, take it away. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you, Councilmember. Good evening. I'm Tiffany Jacobs-Quinn. I'm representing the HR department. No one's in trouble. Don't leave. But no, seriously, I think we're really proud to have a friendly HR department. We pride ourselves on being very customer focused, and the whole reason we exist is to support the work of everyone you've heard from tonight. That's it. We're here to support the workforce and to develop, retain, and recruit an engaged, diverse, and effective workforce so that they can continue to do the great work that they're doing that you've heard about. That's what makes me really proud, being part of HR. Public sector employment is different than private sector. It's competitive, it's merit-based, and we provide equal opportunity to anyone who's interested in being part of this awesome community that we have as city employees. So I really love being a part of that. I love seeing the fruits of our labor. Like last week, we were invited to a firefighter trainee graduation, and 14 firefighter trainees graduated and now are full-time firefighters, and HR had a small role to play in that. And it just, it feels really meaningful to be a part of that. How you can help us, or just something that at least I want you to know, the job opportunities. We post new jobs on our website every Thursday. So if you're interested at all in being part of this workforce, or you know someone who might be, check it out. I mean, we are one of the few cities that has so many different professions, because we have so many different departments that do different things that in other cities, the county handles. So it's an amazing variety of opportunities. And so that's what I want to leave you guys with, that don't forget about us. We're an amazing employer to work for. And we look forward to continuing to serve you all. Thank you.
And then from our principal engineer, Department of Transportation, we have Nader. Nader is here? Oh, perfect. The lights are very blind. So anything transportation, you see this, there's a beautiful street Lincoln right behind us. Nader, department is in charge.
Hello. Sorry, I'm a little shorter here. So my name is Nader Asmar. I'm a principal transportation engineer for the Department of Transportation. Happy to be here. I'm representing actually the director who couldn't make it tonight. I don't know if you've met Laura Rubio Cornejo, but I'm filling in for her. She had a last minute emergency to deal with, but I'm here, so you get me instead. I've been with the city about 20 months. I think I probably started at the same time as the fire chief. I did have a career previously with the City of Los Angeles, Department of Transportation. So I've been doing traffic engineering for about 35 years. And I really love working here in Pasadena. It's a great city, much cleaner than LA, so I'm happy to be here. And what does the Department of Transportation do? So What we do is we really have three different major groups in the department, and it makes DOT one of the more popular departments because usually people don't really notice us unless something goes wrong, right? So one thing we do is parking. We do parking management, so we do enforce all the parking restrictions that are on the streets. We manage the parking lots in Old Pasadena, all the public parking lots. So if you have any problem with parking, you can let me know. You can let us know. We'll take care of it. Another major thing that the department does is transit. So we operate all the Pasadena transit buses that you see running around the city in the Dial-A-Ride program. So I do have some information if you need any information on bus lines and things like that. And then we have the third division, which is the one that I manage, which is really, it's called the Mobility Division, which handles everything from managing the city's traffic signals, how they're timed, the striping on the street, the lines that you see, all the street signs. We review developments when they build new buildings. We look at the traffic impacts. We also build bike lanes. If you have a request for stop signs, speed humps, anything like that, we look at those things. We evaluate the requests. Usually people submit requests through the council office or through the Citizen Service Center, and we will look at it and respond back to you. So if you have any questions about any of that, just come and see me after. One thing that I'm most proud of is the staff at DOT. They're very customer service oriented, so they do respond, and they do really put their best effort into solving the problems that are presented to us. So don't hesitate, anything at all, traffic related, we're here to help. If there's one thing that I could, or I guess two things that I would say that you could help with, it's really, if you drive in the city, that you slow down a little bit, because there's an epidemic around the country of people dying in traffic collisions. It's been on the rise for the last 8 years due to a number of factors. But one thing that we notice is a lot of people do speed. And so we have a lot of programs in DOT to try to slow people down. But if you drive, slow down. And if you're a pedestrian, I would say, make sure when you cross the street that you use extra caution, because sometimes people are not paying attention. So make that eye contact with people when you cross the street, and share that with your neighbors, because it really does help to get the word out. Again, thank you for having me, and if you have any questions, I'll be here to answer them. Thank you.
Up next is if you've done anything to your home whatsoever, you need a permit for it in Pasadena. If you're thinking about it, you need a permit for it in Pasadena, and that is our acting director of the planning department, the director of the planning department, Jennifer Paige.
Good evening, everybody. I'm glad I didn't have to follow Brenda, because I always say she gets to do all the fun stuff. And then our department is the regulators. We're not always popular, but we're there for you, and we make sure that your home is safe and your community is safe. So I'm the acting director of the Planning and Community Development Department. I've been with the city for 22 years in this department the entire time. And I'm just starting to get a little bit of cred after 22 years. As you can see, you've got to be here maybe 30 before you get any respect. So I'm working on that. And so our department really regulates everything on private property that you see around you, your whole built environment. So we have building and safety, we have planning, we have code enforcement, we have filming and arts. So we really, everything that's kind of going on around you, that's us. I think Tony and his group, they're regulating what's on or public property, and we're private property. So what I think I'm most proud of is obviously the work of our staff, but we really start from concept to build. So with our planning, it's all the visioning, and it's, we're doing a lot of visioning out in the community. We recently adopted the Lincoln Avenue specific plan in the Councilmembers District, which we're really proud of. We're in the middle of a 5-year effort to do 8 specific plans all throughout the city. And so throughout that work, we would love to have your input and your participation, because that is deciding with you what uses you want to have, what types of buildings you want to have, how tall. So that's really important. It affects your life every day. We would love to have your involvement in that process. And then we work with applicants once they come in on what their project looks like. And they go through design review with our design commission. We regulate the historic aspects of projects, and then once it comes time for the projects to be built, our building and safety department makes sure that everything is safe and up to code and is of quality. I think one of the reasons that people love to be in Pasadena is because of the quality of the environment that we have here, and we inherited that. That's many, many years of the people before you being involved and caring about your community, so it's really important for us that you continue to carry on that legacy, and we would love to have you involved in the work that we do. So I think beyond that, did I hit everything? I'm towards the end. You're probably sick of hearing everybody talk. So I think, if you have any questions, happy to answer them. Thank you.
I do have to say that I don't know, Jennifer, if they're not giving you cred, they should be, because Jennifer's probably one of the department heads that I email the most. And not because of concerns, but she makes sure that our residents have the best experience when going through the permitting department. And sometimes it is a little bit of a headache, but Jennifer's team is amazing when the neighbors reach out. So thank you so much for that work. I had to give you that shout out, and the work that you've been doing is amazing. 22 years, you're doing a great job. Next up is, I'm gonna bring these two guys together because they're like the yin and the yang. We have Javan Rad and Tim Wellman. One of them is the city attorney, assistant city attorney, which is Javan Rad. And the other one is the city prosecutor. So we got the bad and the good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're both great. They're both great, though. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Oh, and Javan is also a District 1 neighbor.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So just when we heard that we're tired of all the speakers, we get called up. So this is perfect. Should I go first? All right. My name is Tim Wellman. I'm currently the acting chief city prosecutor. I've been an assistant city prosecutor for the city of Pasadena for a little over 4 years. Before that, I was a deputy district attorney up in Oakland, California. So the job of the city prosecutor's office is we essentially get involved once the police department brings over a case for us to review. The district attorney's office will handle the felonies. We will handle the misdemeanor cases in the city of Pasadena. So if there is a crime or an alleged crime that involves a misdemeanor, that a police report is made, it will come to our office, we'll review it, and we may charge it. We don't charge every case that comes over, but we charge a fair number of them. Once they're charged, we then handle the case all the way through the criminal justice system. So from arraignment to pretrial to a resolution, that could be from a plea, it could be from a jury trial, it could be from a diversion program, all the way through appeal if there is one. And so a lot of what we do is we're trying to find that right balance. We want to do right by the victims, the witnesses in the case, but we also want to do right by the community and the defendant. When we go to court, we say we represent the people of the state of California, and more particularly, we represent our community, and that includes everyone, including those charged with crimes. And what we're looking to do is, it's not always about, is someone going to do jail or are they going to be on probation? It's trying to find the right resolution, the right solution to that case. And a lot of that involves diversion programs. So we have a number of diversion programs, both from the court and from our office, that we handle. We also do a lot of things outside the courtroom. For example, recently we started the community mediation program. And what that is that there's an issue that one of the residents of Pasadena is having. Maybe it's with a neighbor, maybe it's with a business. There's an issue. You can actually go to the City of Pasadena website and put in a request to try to have that dispute mediated before it leads to a case, whether it's a civil case or a criminal case. And that can be done on the website, and we can actually, our office will look through it and see what we can do to try to resolve it. So there's a lot that we do inside the courtroom, but also outside the courtroom. And I would just ask, as members of the community, as members of the public, if there are things that we can help you with, if there are things that you have questions or concerns with, please come to us. We'll do everything we can to try to get to the right result in the case. So thank you.
Thanks, Tim, and thanks, Councilmember Hampton. So I'm Javan Rad. I'm the Chief Assistant City Attorney. I've been with the city since 2005, and I've been the Chief Assistant for the last 10 years. I oversee the Civil Division, and so you heard from the City Attorney before, and then Tim talked about the Prosecution Division. There's 4 divisions in the City Attorney's office, so I'll cover the other 3 real briefly. So the Civil Division, which I oversee, there's me and then a total of 9 other lawyers. We advise the council through the city attorney and then the other city boards and commissions, city staff, and then we handle lawsuits involving the city, both at trial, appellate courts, federal and state courts. We also represent the operating companies, the Rose Bowl, the Convention Center, and also Pasadena Media. And then separate from the Civil Division, there's also the Oversight Commission Support Division that works with the recently created Community Police Oversight Commission that the council created back in 2020, and they also work with the Independent Police Auditor. The other division is the Liability Claims Insurance Division, which reviews claims for damages against the city and also reviews insurance. I guess going to what something I'm most proud of is I think one of the things that I really like about working for Pasadena is we have a really full service in-house legal department. That there's 88 cities in LA County, and there's somewhere in the range of 10 that have full service city attorney offices, and I think it's really great that we have one. Prosecution Division, they've got prosecutors that also prosecute all the way through misdemeanor, penal code misdemeanors. Civil Division, we've got lawyers that do all kinds of things. And in terms of one thing that would like the community to know, I think you've heard from the clerk and the acting planning director in particular talking about get engaged. We review the public notices. We review things that get put out to the community. There's projects going on, staff seeking comments. There's council meetings about items. The council's seeking comments. Get out, comment, make your voice heard. Don't just talk to your neighbors. Come to the meetings, submit the comments, and I think the council and staff do really want to hear from you. So thank you all. Thank you for being.
And those are 2 guys you really want to know because you don't want to be on either side of it, right? So you should be good friends with the city prosecutor and city attorney. Up next is the Information and Technology Department, Jonathan Lang. And when you think about information and technology, you're probably thinking like, well, it's a city department, but everything that you think of, Wi-Fi at our parks, Wi-Fi at our city hall, it's our information officer, IT that does that work, as well as our Citizen Service Center app. They create that too. So
you read my mind. You read my mind. Thanks, Councilmember.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate everyone sticking around for best to last. IT department, of course. I'm going to mix things up a little bit for you guys. So we're supposed to end with what's one thing residents can do to help your department function better and to be more effective. So, question for everyone here: who owns an iPhone or a cell phone, I should say, in general? Raise of hands. Okay, quite a few. Is anyone here familiar with the app that Councilmember Hampton mentioned, Pasadena CSC? We got 1 hand. We got 2 hands. Excellent. So, third question. I'm going to make this quick, I promise. Who has kind of walked around the city and seen a street light out, traffic light out, maybe a palm frond on the ground and thought, man, I hope somebody's going to do something about this? I see, okay, this woman right here is moving, right? So, excellent. So here's what I recommend. For those who raise their hand about having a cell phone, if it's an iPhone, open up your app store. You can do this right now. If it's an Android, open up your Google Play and just search for the word Pasadena. You'll see some apps in there. Pasadena CSC, Citizen Service Center. It's an app that was developed for our Public Works Citizen Service Center. Tony, excellent props to you and your team there. What it can do is you can take a picture of these things that you see, you can report them, and it will sometimes automatically generate a work order to take care of that. I guess in general, what I'd like to say to everyone here is take advantage of the technology that's out there. You'll see the Pasadena CSC app. You'll see something called Pass Portal, which is a way to pay for a parking meter without plugging the meter. You can actually do it remotely if you're away from your car and you're not going to make it back in time. You can pull your phone out, add some more money to that Pass Portal app. You won't have to go back to the parking meter. These are all technologies that have been deployed within the past few years that the technology department's played a part in. So Anyhow, I'm going to jump to number one. I'm John Lang. I manage the customer service division of our IT department. I've been with the city for 8 years. Key functions, we support and implement the technology that all the departments use. And so technology is becoming more part of every person's work life. We play a part in implementing and making sure that technology is secure and supportable. I do want to note that in general, our departments, you don't see it, but we work very well together. It's a great team, and we really enjoy supporting our staff. Our IT department takes great pride in their customer service and their ability to deliver that technology for them. And then what's the work your department does that you're most proud of? I'd say about 2.5 years ago, we got hit with a quarantine. The city had to keep running, right? We had to keep working. And so the IT department stepped in and made sure that we could do that remotely with minimal impact to the services that you, our residents, have. And so that's something we're really proud of. In addition to that, I'd say in the past 5 years, you may have seen an increase of things you can do online with the city, right? You can apply for permits now. You can pay for things. You can pay for the online payment portal for your water and power bills a lot easier now. These are all things that that we're very proud of, that we played a part in supporting our departments. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm saving our very, very best for last. And that is when you turn on the lights, they just turn on. When you turn on your water, something that you have to live with is the Director of Water and Power, Jeff Kightlinger.
Well, thank you very much, Councilmember. I'm the Interim General Manager of Pasadena Water and Power. I came here in January, and one of my main jobs was to recruit my replacement. And I'm pretty close to being completed on that, and I should be done here around the end of the year. Things that, when you get down to the really functionality of what is Pasadena's Water and Power, the council member mentioned it. Our job is to keep the water flowing and the lights on. It's a very complex, heavily regulated world. We're moving electrons thousands of miles across the western U.S. We're moving our water 500 miles from the north of us, 250 miles from the east of us, but our job is to keep it on 24/7, 365, and that's what I'm very proud of. That's what the department does. It's a very small utility, PWP. Most of our neighbors belong to Edison, which is huge. Having your own utility means we're very responsive, and that's something I think very proud of. Our outage time is so much shorter than our neighbors. After windstorms and things get knocked down, typically our outages are measured in hours. Edison's in days. That's something you can be very proud of, that you have your own utility here. Our goal is to be responsive. If you have issues, make calls. You know, our job is to get staff out there and fix them. So thank you very much, and appreciate being here. Thank you.
And that is very true. Our power is on like that. Thank you so much, Jeff. And you know what? I thought that was our last department. There is one last department, and then we're going to let everybody disperse and break into talking to the department heads that they want to have a discussion with. It is our economic development department. So how we bring in funds, how we support our local businesses. We have Dave Klug, the director of our economic development department. And a District 1 neighbor.
You're stealing my thunder here. Come on.
Sorry.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Dave Klug. I've been with the city since 2008. And I'm not quite a newbie, but I'm not quite tenured as some other of my predecessors. So happy to be here tonight, so thank you. So I have a fun job. I get to talk to the businesses, bring in new businesses, talk to the restaurants, attract more jobs for our community. And I think that's probably what I'm most proud of, helping our residents obtain employment and provide employment and so people can improve their everyday lives. And that's really, I think, the most important thing that we can do for our city and this district. And I'm happy to be here and answer any of your questions as we move forward. There is one other program that I'd like to talk about briefly, and that's the First Source Local Hire Program. So when you see these projects throughout the city, through on South Fair Oaks, there's going to be a few medical office buildings that we're looking at. So what we want to do is try and get our employees, or not our employees, our residents employed on these projects. So that's one thing that we'll be working on, working with these developers to employ our local residents. So with that, I'll end it. Thank you.
Well, that is every department in the city of Pasadena. And I want to thank each and every one of the residents for being here. And now there's the opportunity for, if you've heard something that you really want to know a little bit more about, to talk to those department heads. Also, there's one department head that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. Is my father. He's here today. So my father's sitting in the front row. Is Tyron Hampton, the most important department head. So with that being said, we're going to stay until about 7 o'clock. You can walk around to the department heads. If you have questions for me, I am going to be standing over here as well. And that is our meeting. So please stay around, mingle, talk to the department heads that you're most interested in. God bless you. Love each and every one of you. Thank you so much.